We are now joined by former Law Minister Ashwani Kumar. Many thanks, sir, for joining us here on Times Now. Mr. Ashwani Kumar, with Tahawwur Rana's extradition now complete and his arrival in India imminent, what message, in your opinion, does this send about India's legal and diplomatic capabilities in pursuing justice for acts of terrorism committed on its soil?
Well, I think it's both a diplomatic and legal victory for India. It sends three clear messages. A, that those who are guilty of perpetrating crimes in India will be brought to justice sooner or later. B, that India will relentlessly pursue terrorists who seek to disrupt the unity and integrity of India. And C, that our diplomatic and legal responses will always match the gravity of the situation. I'm indeed delighted that the initiatives taken in 2011 to bring back Tahawwur Rana to face justice in India have now culminated in success.
Mr. Ashwani Kumar, with reports suggesting that Rana may be lodged in Tihar jail and that high security arrangements are in place, could you tell our viewers what are the legal protocols involved in handling such high-risk detainees once they are extradited?
Well, there are security protocols, of course, with reference to high-risk individuals. Tahawwur Rana is a terrorist. He has been the face of ISI, and he has been accused of the most heinous crimes in India. And obviously, there is fear that attempts could be made on his life in order to silence him from exposing the ISI activities and the activities of the neighboring state in fomenting trouble in India. Therefore, the strictest security precautions have been rightly taken by NIA and the Government of India, and that is how it should be. So, the answer to your question is that the security protocols of the highest standards are absolutely essential and required in this case where a trained terrorist who has perpetrated terrorist crimes in India is sought to be brought to justice.
Now, NIA has obtained a court order to transfer Rana's case from Mumbai to Delhi. In your view, what could be the legal and logistical reasoning behind this shift in jurisdiction? And does it reflect a strategic move for better case management or security considerations?
Well, I have a feeling that this is done primarily because the NIA had registered the case against Rana in New Delhi in 2011. And that is why the jurisdiction to try Tahawwur Rana is appropriately in Delhi. That seems to be the main reason why his trial is going to take place in Delhi, because his name occurred in the 2011 charge sheet brought by NIA. It could also be on account of foolproof security arrangements that are possible and available in Delhi. But primarily, in my view, it is on account of the jurisdictional aspects of the Delhi courts, where the charge sheet against Rana was filed by NIA in 2011.
Welcome back. Here with us on Times Now. And viewers, our focus continues to be the latest as far as Tahawwur Rana's extradition to India is concerned. In just a few hours from now, he is going to be in Delhi in the NIA headquarters. That's going to be his first stop after the plane lands at Palam area, and then his medical examination is going to happen. And viewers, Times Now is keeping you ahead with the fastest updates on this biggest story of the day. So what exactly were the targets that helped Tahawwur Rana help Headley identify and recce? Remember, he was the main person. Tahawwur Rana was the main person who helped David Coleman Headley, one of the key conspirators of the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, with all the logistical issues and planning and executing the terror attack here on the Indian soil. And there were 8 visits by David Coleman Headley to India, and it was Tahawwur Rana only who helped David Coleman Headley with everything. During those 8 visits, viewers, there were 231 plus phone calls that happened where all this planning happened. Now with Tahawwur Rana coming back, there are expectations that we will get closer to the reality. Who were the people, not just from India, but from Pakistan, who were involved in this larger conspiracy? So let's tell you a little bit about, what is there in this NIA dossier. Hotel Taj Mahal Palace and Towers in Mumbai. Now, that was one of the places that was recceed by them, Hotel Trident in Mumbai. Now, this is as per the NIA charge sheet. Siddhivinayak Temple, Phadke Temple. Apart from that, Mantralaya was also another place that they recceed. Harbour area, World Trade Center was also there. Now, apart from the places on this list, there were also areas like CST, the Chabad House, that became the targets of the terrorists running amok at that point in time. Two terrorists from Lashkar-e-Toiba stormed the Chabad House. In fact, apart from that, there was somebody who also ran the center there, was among the victims. Today, as law catches up with the perpetrators, Israel has hailed this big development as well. Here's a reaction.
We are encouraged to hear about the extradition to India of one of the perpetrators of the terrible and horrendous terrorist attacks that happened in Mumbai on the 26th of November 2008, which took the lives of more than 170 innocent civilians, including Israelis. I would like to thank the government of India for its persistence in bringing the terrorists to justice.
And viewers, Tahawwur Rana was the man behind the curtain. He legitimized David Headley's visits. He gave him fake papers. He helped book hotels. He helped map the targets, the Taj, CST, Nariman House, Leopold Cafe. All of it was enabled under the business cover of Tahawwur Rana's Chicago-based firm. And Headley, in multiple depositions, named Tahawwur Rana. The NIA charge sheet names him as well. There are over 231 call records between Headley and Rana, with most of the key coordination happening during Headley's 8th visit to India. During his 8th visit, in fact, both of them spoke for the maximum number of times. Let's also show you a little bit about of the conversations that happened between David Coleman Headley and Tahawwur Rana. First visit, Headley spoke to Rana 32 times. This is significant. Second visit, Headley spoke to Rana 23 times. Now, this is as per the NIA charge sheet, viewers. Third visit, 40 times. Both these people had conversations. Fifth visit, Headley spoke to Rana at least 37 times. And sixth visit, this was also important. 33 times Headley spoke to Rana. But it was the 8th visit just before the attacks that was the most important one. That's when Headley had maximum number of conversations with Tahawwur Rana here in India. 66 times they had phone conversations. Now, joining us on the broadcast right now are my guests. We have Major General G.D. Bakshi, retired, who's a defense analyst, and Professor Madhav Nalapat, Vice Chair, Manipal Advanced Research Group, also live with us right now. Good afternoon, sir. Gentlemen, both of you, thank you for joining us here on Times Now. Major General G.D. Bakshi, it is a significant day for each one of us. But I want to ask you, what is it that we can expect with Tahawwur Rana coming back to India, with Pakistan already trying to distance itself from Tahawwur Rana by releasing the first statement saying, we've got nothing to do with him. He is a Canadian national because he has not renewed his Pakistani documents for over 2 decades.
Look, the simple fact is, this man is a captain in the Pakistan Army's medical corps, right? He's a Pakistani military officer, right? This man, along with Major Iqbal and Dawood Headley and Tahawwur Rana, these people had all studied in an army cadet school in near Rawalpindi, right? And that is where these bonds had been forged. Major Iqbal went on to join the ISI. And this man went on to join the Pakistan Army Medical Corps. And after some time, he left and he started working for the Lashkar-e-Toiba. He established the first World Immigration Agency in Chicago, right? This is where David Coleman Headley was sent. The prime operational planner of 2611 was Major Iqbal of the ISI. And these two worked as his logisticians and his people for conducting on-ground reconnaissance. Right? He provided the passport to David Coleman Headley Aka Dawood Gilani. This man gave him a visa for 5 years to visit Mumbai. Between 2007 and 2008, David Coleman Headley visited Mumbai 5 times to carry out reconnaissance.
Yes.
Right, of the various targets which you just listed and showed. Now, the simple fact is, so far, now this is important, so far, it has been Pakistan's contention that this was the handiwork of non-state actors of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, that they had very little to do with it, they had nothing to do with it. The Pakistani state is lily white and clean. This is utter nonsense, and why they are so worried is that now that Tahawwur Rana is in Indian custody, he will sing like a canary, right? And he will establish the links between the Pakistan Army, the ISI, the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and the attack on 26/11.
And do you
It is
think,
the
Major General G.D.
Pakistani
Bakshi,
state.
that it has already started giving sleepless nights to Pakistan, to the main perpetrators who are still being shielded by the Pakistani army, that, you know, this first statement shows how rattled the neighboring nation is already?
Absolutely. You see, they are now worried sick that the official linkages of the Pakistan Army and ISI with the 26/11 mass casualty terror strike, which killed 166 innocent people, Indians, Israelis, Americans, inclusive. You see, that will now be brought out in the open. And let me make one thing perfectly clear. Despite whatever we do, this will be the legal agencies of two countries would have implicated Tahawwur Rana and, of course, David Coleman Headley, right?
Yes.
And they have established the links between him and Major Iqbal of the ISI, right? Even if after this Pakistan goes into denial mode, which it is trying to do, because the government of Pakistan is now directly linked with this attack.
Yes.
Then I think we should just go ahead with our investigation, establish the linkage, and do another Balakot on Pakistan, especially in the headquarters of the ISI, the headquarters of the Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Okay.
Because they are not going to punish anyone. They haven't punished anyone.
Well, they haven't
The
done it
Congress
till now,
government
and of course, they have been shielding the perpetrators so far. So what else can we really expect? Major General G.D. Bakshi, I'm just requesting you to stay on with us. We also have with us former Law Minister of the country, Ashwani Kumar, who was speaking with us a short while ago as well. Now, Mr. Ashwani Kumar, I also want to ask you if you could just elaborate for our viewers about the legal safeguards and procedures that must be followed to ensure a watertight prosecution in a case like this, especially when the evidence spans multiple jurisdictions and involves investigative agencies too.
Well, I have a feeling that the essential evidence has already been collected and is with the prosecuting agencies. I have no doubt that Government of India will leave no stone unturned to ensure that there are no legal loopholes as far as the prosecution's case is concerned. We have given a fair trial even to Kasab. Rana will get a fair trial, but at the same time, I have no doubt in my mind that all the agencies of the Government of India, the legal departments, the Public Prosecutor's Office, the Home Ministry, and the investigative agencies responsible for collecting foolproof evidence against Rana will act in concert in order to ensure that this terrorist or a person accused of terrorism on the Indian soil is brought to justice. I have no doubt that the prosecutor will succeed in making out a foolproof case for conviction of the Tahawwur Rana for the heinous crime of terrorism in India.
Mr. Kumar, former Home Secretary G.K. Pillai has openly stated that the US acted in bad faith by shielding David Headley, allegedly a double agent for both the US and Pakistan's ISI, and stalling his extradition through a plea bargain. Given this, doesn't it raise serious concerns about the credibility and trustworthiness of international legal cooperation, especially with close partners, close allies like the US, when it comes to issues of national security and justice for terror victims?
Well, Mr. G.K. Pillai has been a distinguished Home Secretary of the Government of India and was in charge when this incident took place. He has stated what he has stated, and I have absolutely no reason to differ from him. In fact, it is well known that it was Headley who was the principal conspirator, and Rana aided him in his nefarious designs. And it is also true that Headley had a plea bargain arrangement with the US authorities, whereby he was not extradited to Delhi or to India, and he's serving prison term in the US. So if Mr. Pillai has said that the US has acted in bad faith and not made available the prime terrorism accused to Government of India, I think I have no reason to differ from Mr. Pillai's assessment.
Mr. Kumar, the UPA government was the one that initiated bilateral consultations way back in 2013 regarding the extradition of Tahawwur Rana and David Headley, as documented in MHA's annual report of 2013-14. Despite these efforts, the extradition did not materialize. In the hindsight, do you believe there were some diplomatic or perhaps procedural shortcomings that hindered the entire process during that period?
This is an absurd suggestion. All the necessary steps that were required to be taken after 2008 terrorist attack, leading up to the charge sheeting of Rana in 2011, were taken during the UPA regime. To suggest that there was any slackness in prosecuting this case is wholly wrong. And as Mr. Pillai himself has stated, extradition processes involve complex legal and political issues, and where not only one country but two countries are concerned, one from where extradition is sought and the other the country seeking extradition. So therefore there is always a time lag between initiation of steps for extradition and the actual extradition. So to suggest that there was any slackness in prosecuting this case during the UPA regime is wholly untenable, and I reject that suggestion.
Okay. Finally, Mr. Ashwani Kumar, Tahawwur Rana set to face trial for his alleged role in the 26 Mumbai attacks. How crucial is it for Indian justice system to conduct this trial swiftly, transparently and efficiently, especially in the larger context of delivering long overdue justice to the victims of one of the worst terror attacks in India's history?
This is a pertinent question, and my response is quite clear. India is a country committed to the rule of law. We gave a fair trial even to Kasab, who was caught red-handed murdering people in a terrorist attack. I think India has vindicated its commitment to the rule of law by treating even terrorists fairly as per the legal procedures prescribed. I have no doubt that the prosecutors in India, the Government of India, the Home Ministry and the investigative agencies will be able to bring Tahawwur Rana to justice, and the highest punishment that can be accorded under Indian laws will be undoubtedly handed out to him. That would be the eventual vindication of justice for the victims of the terrorist attacks who have been martyrs in a national cause. I certainly hope and believe that the Indian legal system would rise to the occasion and bring the guilty to book in accordance with procedures prescribed by law,
right,
and thereby vindicate India's position as a country committed to the rule of law in the international community.
All right, Mr. Ashwani Kumar, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now with your perspective on this particular story. We'll slip into another very, very short break right now, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with lots more on this biggest story of the day. Stay with us.